welcome in. How are you all doing today? Welcome in. And we are on the series, Resist series. We are actually on talking about the four pillars of wealth building. Welcome in, everyone. How are you all doing today? And we know exactly what we need to do, right? We know. Welcome in, welcome in. And if you're just meeting me for the first time, Dr. Lina, and today we're talking about financial freedom, understanding that money is just a tool. Financial freedom is the goal. So, what are the steps that it takes you to get to financial freedom? Income, it starts with your income, except you got an inheritance, or you except you got a jackpot, you won a jackpot. Your chances of building wealth. Bana Bay, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, everyone. How are you doing? So, except you won a jackpot or you got an inheritance, right? Your wealth starts from your income, but there is so much gap between this income and financial freedom. As a matter of fact, there are like 6 to 7 more steps. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when it comes to financial freedom, they work so hard, they still don't get that wealth, right? They still do not gain to financial freedom. That is because what they taught us: go to school, work hard, study hard, get a job, work hard, and life is going to be beautiful. But how is that working? That's because income does not equal wealth. Income does not equal financial freedom. Financial freedom is ability to live life at your own terms, right? That's what financial freedom is, and that's what we're going to be resolving today. We started it yesterday, so how to talk about your income, right? What are the steps about it? That's what we're going to be continue today. What is the next step? Welcome in, everyone. Lady Cash, how are you doing? Wild Out, how are you? How are you? Combat, welcome in. Roy, hello, hello. So good to have each and every one of you. Daily Fate, welcome in. And we know exactly what we need to do. Let's tap out the live. Let's share out the live. Invite your friends over. Don't be the only one that's going to get this, because today we continue, right? Yesterday we talked about income. I'll recap quickly, shortly. And of course, we're going to be talking about fixing your foundation, because that's the next step. So what do we mean by fixing your foundation? Or what do we mean by stop saving, right? We're going to be talking about that today. And of course, the other flows as well. So good to have each and every one of you today. Awesome, awesome. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live. We'll get started. Let's get it started. How are you all doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Yes. So we're going to be talking about the 4 pillars of wealth creation, right? Or you can call it 4 pillars of financial freedom, because really the goal, the ultimate goal is what? Financial freedom. Money is just a tool, right? If all that you're chasing is money, guess what? That is not wealth, because a lot of times people always equate money to wealth. But guess what? There are 5 types of wealth. So let me quickly touch that while we keep on tapping out the live. Crypto Lord, thank you so much for tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. Because my day job, I'm a vice president of technology. I'm also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information system. But at the same time, that's because I'm a professor, because I have my doctorate and my master's in strategic business and information management system. But I'm an economist, I'm a chartered accountant. I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio, and I've been investing for close to 2 decades. And I'm just sharing my knowledge, because if all that you do, again, is you put your money in what? You put your money solely, you're focused on the income, or you think income is wealth, or you think income is financial freedom, you're getting it all wrong, right? Our goal is financial freedom, ability to live life at your own terms. So whenever I talk about wealth, so let me just quickly do Boston mates, right? As we tap out the line, Mr. Sylvia, latest millionaire in town, welcome in, right? One of the things that people make mistake about when it comes to either wealth building, either financial freedom, either money, either income. Let me quickly address that, because once you understand this, it's like little things that you understand. I call it a mindset shift when it comes to money, financial freedom, income building, all of those things, wealth building. So one of the things I want to tell you first is, one of the things I'd like to talk to about, and if you're new here, click on the follow button. This is the $1 Million League, right? Because you need to change your mindset first before you can do anything. Change your mindset. Welcome in, everyone. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it 5,000 taps. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Get your daily at me. If you haven't gotten your daily at me, get your daily at me. Crypto Lord, yay! You just click on the follow button. Thank you for tapping out the live all along. Awesome. Interestingly, we don't talk about crypto here, okay? We don't talk about crypto, right? But it's so good to have you. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's share the live as well. So one of the things that I want to quickly touch on that a lot of time people make mistake about when it comes to wealth building, and that's what keeps them stuck. So first is that a lot of time people always think that income equals wealth. Well, unfortunately, income does not equal wealth, right? Thank you so much for getting your daily admin. Let's keep tapping out the live. Your income does not equal wealth. The earlier you understand that, the better, right? Because guess what? This is what we were taught, and that's why a lot of people are financially trapped. They are trapped on that 9 to 5 rat race, hamster wheels, whatever you want to call it, paycheck to paycheck. That's because they assume that the fact that you have this income, you're automatically building wealth. Unfortunately, to be able to, and building wealth, it's not the same thing as financial freedom. All right? And of course, wealth does not equal money. These are myths that people always make mistakes about. So because first of all, let's talk about the first one. Income does not equal wealth. Because your income, this is income, whenever we talk about wealth building, wealth is, I'll wipe up this side so that you can see. Let's keep tapping out the live. Jefferson Asafo, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. Until I understood this, guess what? I never got to this millionaire status. Until I understood it, even with a vice president's income, even as a professor, that's double income, right? Even with those two income, I still did not gain financial freedom. Why? Because of this mindset. And this is the mindset that is keeping a lot of people trapped. So let's quickly bust that myth. Let's quickly bust that myth and change that mindset. So you have the foundation, the good solid foundation. Let's keep tapping out the live. You're new here, click on the follow button. You're new here, click on the follow button, share out the live. Let's tap out the live. Let's share out the live as well. Thank you all for doing that. So what I mean by income does not equal wealth. Income does not equal wealth. That's because income, regardless of how much you make here, right? If you're, regardless of, okay, let's talk about wealth first. Let's talk about wealth. Whenever we say wealth, what comes to mind to you? Whenever I will say wealth, what comes to mind? Whenever I say wealth, right, drop it in the comment. One of the things that we do here, thank you so much for tapping out the live, everyone, right? And if you're new here, click on the follow button. Whenever we talk about wealth, what do you think that is, right? In your own words. One of the things that we do here, when you come in here, stay like 2 minutes, it looks like what you're looking for, tap out the live, click on the follow button. That's what it means. Tap out the live, click on the follow button after waiting 2 minutes. Don't rush to clicking the follow button immediately. Look at the information that they're sharing. If it looks like what you're looking for, wait 2 minutes, then click on that follow button. That's one. Number 2 is tap out the live. Number 3 is share out the live. Number 4 is it's an engagement. I'm going to ask questions so you respond, right? It makes it more, it's a way of you learning. This is a class, not your regular life. It's a class. It's different, right? So whenever I ask question, please do well to respond. Share out the live as well. And of course, get your daily at me if you have not gotten your daily at me. Let's all get our daily at me. Click on the follow button if you have not done so. And thank you all for tapping out the live. So if you're not clicking on that follow button, make sure you do so. So whenever we talk about wealth, a lot of times, when we say wealth, what does that seem to you? What does it sound to you? When you talk about wealth, Will's latest millionaire in town. When we say wealth, when you hear the word wealth, what comes to mind? Anyone drop it in the comment section. When you wear wealth, what does it mean to you? Wealth, what does wealth? Drop it in the comment. What do you think wealth is? What do you think wealth is? Joak, yeah, what do you think wealth is? Junior, what do you think? And Apex, Adisa, right? What do you think wealth is? Leon, right? Crypto King. When they say wealth, what do you think that is, right? Young Rich. When you hear wealth, what does that What does that mean to you? Somebody put the comment, put respond, just type it in. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. When you hear wealth, what does that mean? No one? Okay. When you hear wealth, what does that mean to you? All right. Let me help out because it seems that nobody is ready to respond right here. This is very interesting. Yeah, Josephine, yeah. So wealth is asset. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Josie. It says asset, okay? Perfect, right? Asset, that's your total asset. Thank you. All right. Wealth, that's your total asset. Okay. Exactly. That's what I was expecting. Money, right? When we talk about wealth, that's money. That's what everybody think about, right? Asset. When you liquidate your asset, what's it going to be? When you liquidate your asset, right? ETF, real estate, businesses, right? If you liquidate it, that is money. So a lot of times, everyone thinks that money is equal to wealth. But money is just one type of wealth. Money is one type of wealth, right? And I'm going to prove it to you and show you today. So whenever you're chasing just money, know that you're just chasing one type, right? And you are supposed to chase everything to become wealthy. That's what it means. You're supposed to chase everything to become wealthy. Now, if you're chasing money, meaning that all that you're just wanting that money, you want to have the asset, you want to have the cash, you want to have that. You're just chasing one type of wealth. Now, there's another type of wealth. The second type of wealth is something called the peace wealth. A lot of times, and I'll show it, I will prove all those things to you. I'll show it to you. Ben Primo Pong, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. If you are new here, click on that follow button. If you have not clicked on the follow button, let me tell you the reason why I'm telling you this, okay? Let's look at where the multi-millionaire, where do they put their money? You would understand one thing. Those the latest millionaire in town, welcome in. I want to show you through a dedicated specialized structures, through a dedicated family office or specialized tax advantage trust. They manage estate planning, consolidate assets, and invest in alternative assets. The reason, what does the peace wealth mean? Peace wealth simply means that you are able to sleep with your two eyes closed at night. What does this mean? Your emergency fund, your insurance. Remember, this is different from money. Your insurance, your trust, living trust, right? Do you already have your beneficiary set up? Do you have your LLC or your corporation or your do you have all of those things set up such that you are not sued? You can sleep with your two eyes closed. And if for whatsoever reason anything happens to you, you know that you are your family is protected whenever you sleep. That's what the peace wealth is. Now let's go to the third. Let's keep tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Welcome in. We're talking about the 5 types of wealth before we go straight into the 4 pillars of wealth creation. Number 3, have you heard this? Where they say that L's latest millionaire in town, welcome in. Yeah. Number 3 that you would have also heard is, you would have probably heard health is wealth, right? Health is wealth. You've heard that. Health is wealth. So it means that you are also supposed to pursue your health wealth. If health fails, every other thing fails. Health fails, every other thing fails. Right? If you've never heard that before. So health is wealth. So if you're building wealth and you equate it to money, but you're doing a job or you are on something that is taken away from your health, right? You are not wealthy. That's why you see that some some billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires, they've ended it all because maybe it's their mental health, right? Because if money is all about wealth, if money equals wealth, then you should not have all those wealthy people, right? When I mean wealthy, meaning ultra rich, ending it all, right? Just unaliving themselves, that's because it can be a mental health situation. It can be a peace wealth situation. Brian, latest millionaire in town, right? It can be a mental health, physical health, right? Peace, right? It can be that, okay, because they cannot sleep at night. That's what is affecting them, right? Those are the, so it tells you something. Money does not equal wealth. Now let's talk about number 4. It is called your social, right? Your social wealth. What is social wealth? You would have heard this before as well. Your network is your net worth. Network is your network, right? You've heard that. That's another type of wealth. And lastly, right, the one that a lot of people miss, a lot of people, especially a lot of people a lot of professionals, right, that they miss is what? Number 5, time wealth. Time wealth. And these people work from age 20 to 65. They work from age 20 to 65, and are still after that time they still do not get financial freedom. Let's keep tapping out the life. If you're new here, yeah, welcome in. This is Dr. Lina, and this is the $1 Million League. We talk about wealth building strategies that is going to help you. But starts with your mindset, because first of all, you need to understand what we are even talking about. Because once you change your mindset, you will understand now that you should not just be chasing money only. Jay, thank you so much for the roses. You should not just be chasing money only. You need to chase all of this. Real 1M, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. If you are new here, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you into the $1 Million League, right? So if you're chasing with wealth, you might have the money because you're a medical doctor, but guess what? Or you're a nurse, or you are in one field or the other, that you are doing morning shift, afternoon shift, night shift, and you are on call. Then you have lost yes, you might have the money wealth, but then you have traded your time for money. So you have lost your time wealth. That is why financial freedom is key. Money is not the goal. Money is just a tool. It's just a weapon to help you to gain financial freedom. Your financial freedom is key. That's why you see income, right? Income is maybe money, right? Income is money. Thank you so much for sharing out the live. Welcome in, everyone. Make sure you click on that follow button. Yes, also tap out the live. Click on the follow button if you have not done so. Welcome into the family. I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm a vice president of technology. That's my day job. And of course, I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. I'm not Dr. Alias, right? I have my doctorate in strategic business and information system, and I'm also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, and deep learning. And you're wondering, how come she's talking about financial freedom? How come she's talking about I'm in Texas, in the United States? How come she's talking about financial freedom? How come she's talking about real estate, ETF, and all of that? That's because I'm also an economist. My bachelor's is in economics, and also I'm a chartered accountant. But most importantly, I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio, and I've been investing for close to 2 decades. Okay, so, and I'm teaching you exactly what have given me financial freedom, brought me to those status, and I'm helping as many people to get that, to understand that. Eric, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. I'm the convener of this community, which is called the $1 Million League. Those that are aspiring to become a millionaire, and those that are already millionaires. So if your goal is to become a millionaire, right? Make sure you click on that follow button. You might just be a trailblazer. It might just be one person. It takes one person in the family to say, okay, it ends here. Think about the Rockefeller family, right? It's somebody that says, well, I'm going to take the bull by the horn, right? Success, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Calusa, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. And when we say, I always deliberately call everyone that click on that follow button a millionaire. Why? Not because of anything, because I'm a Jesus baby. So ultimately, my goal is, I tell my God, my big man in heaven, to tell him that, oh, you know what? This person is just indicated that I'm a candidate to become a millionaire. So there's power of life and death in the tongue. That's number one. But guess what? That's one thing, the spiritual aspect. But there's also the physical, right? God has also said He will bless the works of your hands. So you need to also work. So get your pen and paper, okay? Get your pen and paper. Take the notes, okay? And of course, execute, right? I tell you, somebody just literally cost $500,000. By the way, if you're thinking this is get rich quick scheme and all those MLM, no, this is not. Google who Warren Buffett is, and then you understand what we're doing here. Who Warren Buffett is, you will understand. We long-term, medium to long-term investing. We are moderate risk investors, and of course, the goal is generational wealth building, ensuring that you are building all these types of wealth, everything. So your money wealth is not trading. You're not trading your time wealth for your money wealth. Okay. So click on that follow button if you're new here. Brand House latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. So whenever next time you're talking about wealth, always remember, right? Am I chasing money wealth? Right? Is this one fitting? Is my money wealth, is it being taken care of? ETF, right? Or the stock market, real estate, businesses, your income. Is it trading off is it taking away from my peace wealth? And of course, am I also maintaining my health? This job that I'm doing, I'm standing up for 18 hours on my feet, right? How does that impact your knees? How does that impact your life? Your health wealth? How is it stealing away from your life, right? Because if you're trading money for this. That's what you're doing. Social wealth. How are you building that? Am I building social wealth? Is my network the same as am I building my network? Your network is your net worth. How am I building that? And also your time. Am I trading my time for money? Right? What does this mean? When your money is something else doing the job for you. Because if you are not trading your own time for money, then who should be doing the job for you? That is somebody called your money. And that's what we're about to talk about. That's what we're about to talk. God favor, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Welcome in. That's what we're talking about. So now that we understand that your wealth is not just the same thing as, it's not the same thing as money, and it's not the same thing as financial freedom. Now you know that. Now let's now talk about the income, right? Let's talk about the income piece. Your income will not automatically give you financial freedom. All right? Because it's not going to automatically give you financial freedom. Because guess what? We were taught something. Go to school, get a job. Go to school, study hard, get a job, right? And life is going to be beautiful. If you've heard that before, drop it in the comment. You've heard this before. You've heard this phrase before. Go to school, study hard, get a good job, work hard, and life is going to be beautiful. If you've heard that before, put it in the comment. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 5,000 taps. Let's get it to 5,000 taps. Yeah, and if you're new here, click on the follow button. If you've heard that statement before, drop it in the comment. Guys, I know that we have so many new people here, so we do things a little bit differently. And I appreciate if you can, be a part of that, because that's what makes learning much more interesting and much more reinforcing. Like I said, I'm a professor. I also teach. I teach in the college here in the United States, in one of the multiple colleges in the United States. So when I ask you a question, please respond. Drop it in the comment. Otherwise, you can also ask me question as well. Feel free to ask me question and drop it in the drop your questions in the comment. So like I asked, have you heard this before? Put yes if you've heard this before. If you have not heard it before, put no, right? Have you heard this saying, which is the saying, go to school, study hard, get a job, work hard, and life is going to be good. If you've heard that before, put I've heard that, or put yes. Gratitude, latest millionaire in town. If you've heard that, put it in the comment. Just say yes, okay? You have close over 90 people. Yes, thank you so much, Eunice. Okay, perfect. It cannot only be Eunice that would say that. You cannot only, thank you so much. Joseph also said Joseph's son. So we've all heard that. But then another question, question number 2, another question. So how is that looking like right now, right? In terms of whatever they told you, is it true or false? Did it work out? Yes or no? whatever theory I said, go to school, get a job, like life is going to be good. Is it playing out? False. Okay, Eunice said false. Thunder, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Who else? Eunice. It cannot only be Eunice that says never. Brandhouse said never. Okay. That's because, right, income does not equal financial freedom. Income does not equal wealth. As a matter of fact, there's a huge gap Monica, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. There's a huge gap between income and financial freedom. There's a huge gap between income and what is called wealth. Why? Right? Have you ever thought about it? How many times have you heard somebody, an employee, have you looked at the rate, in terms of the chart of the multimillionaires and the billionaires? Have you seen the chart where you see athletes at 3% of the population of millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires? The chart of, you would see investors, you would see owners of companies. That's what you would see, right? You would see sports, those in sports, maybe 3%. But all the employees, you would see 0%, right? 0%. And I was hoping to get my iPad. Hey, Gigi, thank you so much for getting your daily app. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina, right? Yeah. I'm Dr. Lina, and I just help as many people to gain financial freedom, right? So thank you so much for the Go Populist. And I was just trying to see, let's see, the percentage of employees that are multi compared to, just bear with me. Hi Quissy, welcome in. Make sure you click on that follow button. How are you doing compared to all millionaires, multi-millionaires and billionaires? Multi-millionaires. Bear with me. And billionaires. There's a chart I'm looking for, but I'll get it before the. There's a chart I'm looking for. I do have it on my. I'll look for it and I will post it before, right? I'll post it before. I'll look for it and I'll show it before the end of the class. Okay? I will. I have it somewhere. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. So you would see that most millionaires, I mean, multi-millionaires, you can see employees as millionaires, like in terms of Roth IRA or in terms of their 401k. But when it comes to when it comes to them having it in the, when it's in terms of them having it as multi-millionaires, you have 0% of employees. 0%. Zero employees in that multi-millionaire status that is getting it from income, right? It doesn't mean that they're not, it means that there'll be 0.0000, right? There's some that will be multi-millionaires. But when you compare it to the categories of multi-millionaires and billionaires all over, employees fall in the category of 0%. That's what I would look for the chat, and I would share it before the class. Let's keep tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on that follow button. So it tells you something. Whatever they told you, go to school, get a job, and of course, life is going to be beautiful. That's why it's not working. Some love latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Right, we have income equal, right? It tells you you want to get fat. This is also, you can put it as wealth here. Income between, there's a huge gap between income and of course financial freedom, or there's a huge gap between income and getting to this wealth status. And of course, remember, when we're talking about wealth, is this, right? Whenever we're talking about wealth, money, peace, health, social, and of course time. Those are the 5 types of wealth that you need to be chasing, not just money. We are all chasing money, but guess what? Money is just one type. Every other thing needs to be changed to be able to, like, okay, be financially free, to be not just financial, to become wealthy. You need to chase all of this. Now, yesterday we talked about, it means that one thing first, it starts with your income, right? Remember, we're talking about 4 pillars of wealth creation. It starts with your income. I'm not one of those coaches that will tell you, oh, you know what, everybody becomes an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I own and manage double ticket real estate portfolio, but it starts with something. That you're preneuring, where is the money going to come from? It has to come from something. It has to either come from a jackpot, inheritance, or of course income. Most of the time, the one that is most realistic is your income. And yesterday was all about, we talked about, yesterday we talked about how to increase this income. And I'll just do a quick recap on how to, because we're not going to, that's not what we're talking about today. As part of fixing your foundation, you have income as number one on that list, right? The first thing, how do you increase your income? Because this income, when it's higher, the quicker you can get to this financial freedom or get to this wealth status. So there are different ways you can increase your income. One is you can supplement your income, meaning you have a normal job. Ramon, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. You can have a normal job, and of course you're making, let's say you're making $70,000 or you're making $80,000, but you also want to increase your income, and you say, okay, you know what, I don't want to go back to school, whatever, I want to get it to 6-figure salary, right? You can do some other things side also. You can drive Uber, you can do Uber Eats, you can do rental arbitrage, you can, whereby you rent a house and you use it for short-term rentals. You can use it, you can do Toro, whereby you rent out your car. You can do affiliate marketing, all of those kind of things that you can just do as a side also, meaning that you are getting something to supplement your income, right? There's so many things that you can do. Just so, this is my day job, right? I'm getting that. Hey, solo broker, how are you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, let's remember to get a daily admin. If you are new here, click on that follow button. Click on the follow button. Let's keep tapping out the live. We are still at 2,600 taps. Can we get it to 5,000 taps? Yeah, we typically will not start the class until we get to 5,000 taps, but yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not missing that. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's share out the live as well. Let's share out the live. Click on the follow button. If you're sitting there for 2 minutes, click on the follow button, and do that every time you go into a live. You sit there for 2 minutes before just clicking the follow button. Always make sure you listen to what they're saying. Make sure it adds value to you before you start clicking the follow button. So if you're sitting here 2 minutes and you think this is value for you, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you in. So as part of, like I said, 4 pillars of wealth creation. So I just talked about side hustle. Those are things that your income is like 80,000. You want it to get to 6 figures. I have a client in Canada that does like civil engineering, making decent money, but he says, oh, you know what, I'm behind on my retirement because he's in his 50s. Lady, latest millionaire in town. He said, I'm behind on my money wealth, right? In terms of investing, right? And you can use this strategy as well. So every weekend, it does Uber, it does a little bit of, and you will never know that it makes so much money. But guess what? He puts that money towards his money wealth, right? Meaning it's his retirement funds. That's what he's doing. So in case that you think that, oh, you know what, I'm a little bit behind, that's a strategy for you. Instead of that Netflix and chill, take like 3 hours, 2 hours, do something else, or do whatever you can do, get a rental arbitrage, Toro, affiliate market, do something to give you extra income. So, Taurine, latest millionaire in town, welcome in, right? Never just say, oh, you know what, there's no other option for me, because the higher this income, and I'm going to show you why this is very important. I'm going to show it to you shortly. Now, the second part of another thing that you can do, which I did in my own case, another thing is go to school, right? This is my least favorite option. Go back to college, whereby you're spending another 5 years or another 4 years in college. This is my least favorite, right? Why? Because if you've already had a first degree, right? A lot of times I see, except you have a particular reason, if you had your first degree, that's your foundation. That's not an associate degree. You've already had one. Why are you going back to get another one, right? You can simply get a certification, right? And let's say that, okay, except for in a special case whereby there are two different technical fields, you're right. There's always something we can do to make a little extra. You are, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Kwesi. Yeah, we can definitely. That's that extra cash. But the only thing is that when you get that extra cash, don't put it towards something called liability. Put it towards asset. That's the other side that we talked about yesterday, but I'm going to quickly touch it. So, and if you're new here, make sure you click on that follow button. If you have not clicked on the follow button, check that, tap out the live, get your daily at me if you have not gotten your daily at me, right? But ultimately, as I was saying, you don't have to go back to college, right? I see that a lot of people make this mistake, except you are in a very technical field. Let's say you are a lawyer, and then you want to go into medicine, right? That's a two. I mean, I would also always call that one midlife crisis. Brazil, latest millionaire in town. I don't know why somebody would move that. I mean, except it's that wide of a career, right? Most of the time, all that you need is a certification. And I'm going to tell you my story. But let's assume that you have to move from law and you want to become a medical doctor all of a sudden, right? Explore the option of scholarship. A lot of time we're very quick to take the student loans and all of those kind of things. There was Dr. Fatima that was here about 2 months ago, or last month, 2 months ago, whereby she taught us, like, she's the director of scholarship and admission in UCLA, right, in California, right? And she was here to teach us, tell us that thousands of millions, more than multi-millions, are what is not claimed every year for in terms of scholarships. So take an option of scholarship. That's the other one. Now, if you don't want to do that, right, think about grants of financial aid before you start thinking of student loan. That's the other. But like I said, going back to school is the least favorite of my everything that I'm even talking about. Least favorite. But now let's even now take it further. In my own case, right, like I said, I'm an economist, I'm a chartered accountant, right? But then I said I'm a vice president of technology, right? And the next thing you think is that, oh, well, she had to go back to school to study computer engineering, right? To get into technology or whatever, right? That's what you would think. But what if I told you that I was able to move from finance to technology just with less than $500 certification. Less than $500 certification was what it took. And less than 5 months. And that increased my income by $30,000. $500, 5 months, $30,000. I was working in one of the Fortune 100 companies, right? And then I wanted to move only because of the income in technology. That's why I moved, right? So think about certifications that you can take. And those certifications, they are worth more. Dr. Bay, latest millionaire in town, welcome in, right? That's what I did. And guess what? Until I was already in the technology field in an oil and gas firm, right? Oil and gas firm I've been in that field for close to, until 6 years after was when I went for my master's in strategic business and information management system. Benedict, latest millionaire, welcome in. I did not get any additional until then. Okay? Tina Dollar, I love that. Latest millionaire in town, welcome in. I did not get additional degree until 6 years after. So it simply means that for me becoming a senior in technology in technology space, up until the point I got to a senior manager, I did not get an additional degree. It was just my economics degree and a chartered accountant degree and my certificate. My less than $500 certification and 5 months whatever that I put into it. That's what got me to that level, right? And of course, until 6 years later that I went for my master's, and after that I got for my doctorate degree. So, which never contributed to any part of becoming a vice president of technology, because even before, by the time I got my doctorate, I had already finished. Dr. Fatima, are you here? I just talked about you if you're here. Yeah, that's the person I just mentioned, that she's from UCLA, right? And I never got any I never got, hi, Dr. Fatima, how are you? I just talked about you. She's the one I told you, she's the director of scholarships and admission in California that she taught us, and she's still telling you that. So if you have any question about scholarship, go to her. She's good to have you. Yes, you just joined. Yes, I just talked about you. Jean, welcome in, welcome in. So one of the things, whenever you're talking about your income, Bonsoir Jean, welcome in. Click on the follow button. Yeah. I always talk about you, Dr. Fatima, every single time. So good to have you again. All right. So you do not have to go back to college. And if you have to go, get a scholarship, get a grant. But on top of that, in my own case, I did not go back to college to get scholarship or do anything. It was a certification of less than $500. That's what that took me all the way to becoming a vice president of technology, right? So that's that's the other way you can actually increase your income. Another thing is that negotiate your income. Negotiate, right? A lot of my counterparts, some of them are senior managers, some of them are, maybe low-level directors. Why? Because they remain on one job for so long, on one particular role for so long. But in my own case, I am not loyal to anybody, okay? No loyal, because they're not loyal to you. You are just a number. You see that your ID that you got? That's just a number, right? You are nobody. It's not like you are dispensable at any time, right? Always remember that. Otherwise, think about the Oracle employees, 30,000 employees laid off in one day, 30,000 employees. So whenever you think about that, you will choose yourself over any other organization. Choose yourself. So what do I mean by this? Always put your resume out. What am I worth out? Right? What is it? This is my skill set that I have. Remember, employers pay for skills, right? They do not pay for the big certificate or whatever. It is the skills that you have. That's what they pay for. So if you have this experience and all of that, right? Think about it. Put it out there. What am I even worth? When last did you check what you're worth? You don't need to leave your organization. You don't. You can simply get the resume and come back. Most importantly, yes, invest in yourself. I like that. Always invest in yourself, right? And part of investing in yourself is review yourself from time to time. What am I worth? One of the things that have made me successful getting into the vice president is, right, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. No, this is not for everybody. You can still remain in that organization and do open job posting, right? Internal open job posting. And then you also apply within and see what is the next big one. What is that gap that is within the organization? Get the certification for it. And guess what? You land that job. That is promotion yourself, because a lot of time we are all waiting on promotion. But guess what? The person that is up there, if the person doesn't leave, you are not moving. It's not because you are incompetent. And that's why a lot of people stay in one position for too long. So if you know that, okay, there's a ceiling. Remember, there's always a glass ceiling, especially for women. There's a glass ceiling in the corporate world. I've been there almost 2 decades. There's a glass ceiling in the corporate world, okay? So for you, you have to figure out how to break the ceiling. If the ceiling is there, if it's not going to move by itself, break the ceiling and move, right? Because at the end of the whole thing, remember, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. There's nobody. Somebody said adulthood is a scam. Yes, gone are the days where you are still a child, right? You would call on your parents. But guess what? Once you turn that 18, you can't call on the parents anymore. You are now an adult. So if you don't fix it, nobody's coming to fix it for you. So that's the same way when it comes to your income. Think about how to increase this income. And why is this important? Quickly, I will touch it. And then we'll go into the 4, as part of fixing your foundation, because your income is the number one. Then we're going to go to the 4 account system that you need to have, like putting all those structures in place. We're going to be touching that. And of course, then we'll go to the next thing. Remember, this is a flow. Your goal is financial freedom. So if you are missing this, you don't fix your foundation, you don't have the structure here, you don't put this, you don't put this, you don't put this, that's the reason why you're not financially free. That's because you are stuck on step number 1, right? And you're missing 3 or 4, 5, 6 layers that's going to get to financial freedom. Okay? So Welcome in, everyone. If you're new here, click on that follow button. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information management system. But I'm also in the corporate world as a vice president of technology in one of the leading companies. But then I'm a chartered accountant, I'm an economist, and I've been investing for close to 2 decades, own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio, and I'm just helping as many people to, guess what, gain financial freedom. And if your goal is to become a millionaire, we welcome you to the $1 Million League, the group of people saying that we're changing the status quo. We want to become millionaire. We want to get to that millionaire status, right? Multi-millionaire status. If that's your goal, you're already a millionaire and you want to become a multi-millionaire, welcome to this community. Otherwise, if you are not yet, you're on track to become a millionaire, or your goal is to become a millionaire, then you're also welcome. We're teaching you the principles and the steps, clear steps to get you to that, to get you moving and on that journey. Somebody just literally crossed 500,000 following these processes and the step that we talk about here. 022 and Corey, latest millionaire in town. Welcome into the $1 Million League on the red carpet of the MDL community. Welcome in. Let's all remember to get our daily admin. If you have not got your daily admin, let's share the live as well. Let's share out the live. Let's tap out the live. Let's get it to 10,000 taps. Thank you all. You're most welcome. Latest millionaire, right? Latest millionaire. Does that not sound fun? It sounds really good. It sounds really good. By the way, we are not. You need to Google who Warren Buffett is. So if you are thinking, this is get rich quick scheme. This is not. Yes, this is not. Thank you so much. Get to your daily. This is not get rich quick scheme. Google who Warren Buffett is, then you would understand what we do here. We're serious investors. We build generational wealth. We are moderate risk investors, right? And of course, remember, emphasis on investors. We are not speculators. We are definitely not gamblers, because there are 3 categories of people in the stock market or in the market, right? There are the gamblers, there's the speculators, and of course, they are the investors. So we fall in the categories of investing. So it means that we are smart, we do calculate Warren Buffett. Exactly. That's it. Warren Buffett. So because we need to have a role model. This is our role model within this community. Google who that is, and then you would understand what we do here. We do serious business. We talk about serious things that getting people to financial freedom. But it starts with your income. You know him. Absolutely. Yeah, everybody knows him. They call him the Lord of Investing, right? Lot of investing, but it starts with income. And why is this income very important, right? As part of fixing your foundation. Look at this triangle that I have here. So we have the income, right? This income, now that we have fixed the income, right? That's the first thing. We fix the income. That's what we just talked about. If all that you do with your income is what, right? You use it and you fund lifestyle and you fund bills. Another problem. So number 1 is fix your income. If you are taking notes, number 1 is for you to fix income. Number 2 is for you to know where you put your money. If all your money goes to bill, all you are doing is you are just working to pay bills. That's what you're doing. You are just working to pay bills. You are just living, and that is what is called paycheck to paycheck, right? Because you take the money today, you work for 30 days, you take the money, you use it to pay bills and fund lifestyle, enjoy a little bit. Next month, you do the same thing, work 30 days, and you do the same thing, pay bills and enjoy lifestyle. Go on vacation, do all those lifestyle. Next month, you do it. And guess what? Before you know it, you've done it for 45 years. 45 freaking years of your life. A 20 to 65. Have you ever sat down to think about it? Clocking in 9 to 5 for 45 years. If I tell you to invest for 20 years, if I tell you put your money somewhere today for 20 years, it feels like, 20 years is a long time. If I tell you, it's going to take you 20 years to double your money, it's a long time, Dr. Lina. But you clock in every day and you're so passionate, enjoying it every single day. And you're using it what? On a bills and lifestyle. And you do it to 65 years. That's not the life. That's not the life. Let's be realistic. If there was any lie that they ever told us, was whoever came up with that strategy I'm not saying that, remember, I said it starts with your income, right? And you want to stick around so you understand what I mean. So I am not saying go quit your job. I'm not saying the job is bad. That's not what I'm saying. Except you got your inheritance or you won a jackpot. So you have to respect this income. Why it lasts. All right? Hey, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. But what I am questioning is, how long are you trading your time and life for money for this income? 45 years is crazy. And then you see people, I saw the other one on Instagram the other day. Waha, latest millionaire in town. I saw one the other day at 70 years old. Or the other was 60, 25 years in, 29 years in US Postal Offices, and then another 9 years in what? Another 9 years in the military. 30, that is 40 years. And guess what? He's unable to pay his rent at 60 something because he retired November. So tell me, it means that if income really is wealth, if income is truly financial freedom, it means that this person that I worked 40 years should be wealthy. Now, income does not equal wealth. So it means that we are missing it because that person that I worked for 45 years or 40 years should be wealthy. I hope we understand what I'm saying. It means that that's why income does not equal wealth. Whoever came up with that strategy was one of the, I would say it again, without missing one of the biggest time in history. Because that is what is called modern day slavery. 45 years of slavery. We are talking about slavery. 45 years of slavery. That's what it is. That's why you get to be what? Financially free. How do you become financially free? Using this income, putting it in the right places when it lasts, right? 10 years, 20 years, or 25 years, or whatever you think is decent for you. Right? This is exactly why you need to put it in the right places. So what does that mean? I bet that person, that old man that is at 70 years old or 60, that is unable to pay his rent after working for 30 years, all he was doing was using the income to fund bills and lifestyle. So promotion, thank you so much for getting your daily at me. Thank you for tapping out the live. If you are new here, click on that follow button. Click on the follow button. If you're new here, you'll be sitting 2 minutes. Click on the follow button, tap out the live. And this is, we need us to tell ourselves the truth. Right? We need us to tell ourselves the truth. 45 years, it's crazy. All right? It is Mara, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the roses. You don't need to say, but invest in something and money grows. Now you're talking. Lejoka, latest millionaire in town. So, but what they taught us, remember what I said when I started? Go to school, get a job. Go to school, study hard, get a job. Hello. And life is going to be beautiful. That is that scam of 45 years. Because what that means is that take your income. Yes. Take your income, right? Take your income and use it to fund lifestyle and build. And that's why everybody is a rat running every single day, waking up every single day. See, this is way more. You would see more people. We will have more than 250 people when I start talking about investing in ETF. We're going to be touching that, right? See, it's right here, smart investing. When we talk about real estate, you would see more people. However, you see this first two. Hello, how are you, Uche? Welcome in. Yeah, let's tap out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. But you see, these first two, income and fixing this foundation, a lot of people, this is the knowledge that is needed. Because if you're able to fix this one, trust me, this is going to, This is just step by step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You are done. It's easy. But you see this one, it's the mindset shift. And that is the biggest thing. Let me tell you the reason why I know. As a vice president of technology, you can have an idea of how distant income is. And at the same thing, add the professor, right? Income. Even no matter how little it is, add it to it, that's double income. I still did not gain financial freedom. I still did not get to this status. Because guess what? Mindset. I was saving my money. I was putting it in the Bank of America. Chase, right? That's where I was putting my money. And literally, you know what that means? I was telling the bank, it's okay for my money to double in 72 years. 72 freaking years. Mindset. Where you put your money matters. But we're going to talk about that later. Google what rule of 72 is. How long it takes your money to double. Mike, latest millionaire in town. So when we say millionaire in town, you understand. Because where you put your money, that is millionaire for you. Where you put your money here, that is millionaire for you. Right? And I'm going to show you three different people. The same income, the same everything. So you want to stick around. Diaspora Sweden, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Right? Three the same people in the same career, earning the same income, doing the same thing, right? But they put their money in 3 different places. You will see the result. One person is going to become a millionaire. One person, the money is going to remain the same thing after 72 years. Adjusted to inflation, is going to lose close to 50% or 70% of that money adjusted to inflation. And the other person is just going to barely break even. That is the difference. So that's why I focus so much energy on your income, fixing your foundation. Then this is going to become a piece of cake, right? So once you put your money, what they tell you, go to school, get a job, and life is going to be beautiful. I asked that question. Everybody said never. It's not working. That's because what you're doing is income, pay bills, income, pay bills. That's also the definition of I live paycheck to paycheck. That's the definition of lack of financial freedom. That's the definition of when they say hamster wheel. So look at it, a wheel that is moving like this, right? A wheel, like it's just moving like in circle like this. That's what that means. Income, pay bills every single month. Income, pay bills. The same thing, rat race. You're just running to wake up in the morning, right? The alarm bell is going off in the morning. You are rushing to go to work, or you're rushing to clock in on your laptop or your whatever, and then you're doing it till 5 o'clock or whatever, and then you are rushing back home to eat, and then you do it the next morning, and you have a rest for one day. Some people will even be working the day that they're supposed to be resting, and then you do it again and again and again and again for 45 freaking years. And then somebody comes to tell you, now when you have already withered, now when you cannot wear bikini, now when you cannot even travel, you don't have all the strength in you anymore. You can't see the world. Oh, they would say, oh, now you can go and retire. And a lot of people, even at that retirement, they cannot still afford it. Isn't that the biggest scam in history? All right. So how do you fix the scam? If it's not the biggest scam, then tell me what else is the biggest scam. So you yourself, because if whatever I'm going to teach you today, once you understand it, you will say, oh my goodness, how come nobody is teaching this in school? I remember my son saying, how come we are not taught this in school? How come I'm just knowing it? Because little do you know that it's about what you put away that gets you to that $1 million status that I'm even going to be talking about. To become a millionaire, it's not so difficult. All right. So income, you put some of it towards bills, right? You want to be financially free, put some of it towards bills. Don't follow what they said. Don't use all your income towards bills and lifestyle. Keep it short for a little bit. If you have to restrain yourself for a little bit, inconvenience yourself for 10 years. I did that. For 10 years, we were living on a 50% to 60% budget. 50% of our income to 60% of our income. That's what we were living on for many years, like 10 years. And we said within this period, we're going to use this money to do what? We're going to put the remaining 40 to 50%. In short, as a matter of fact, at a point, it got to 60%, right? We now put it towards what? Something called assets. Asset is something called appreciating cash flowing asset. This side, it is called liability. Liability takes money from you. It takes from you, right? It ends, it's like a cycle that ends there. It doesn't generate anything. So think about your food. Once you eat the food, what happens? The only other thing is the waste in the bathroom. That's it. That's where it ends, right? And you nourishes your body. That's it. When you go on a trip, right? What is it? What ends? It's not like you have any money when you go on a vacation. You just enjoy the experience. You have a beautiful life. That's it. It doesn't generate money for you. That car, it gets to a point, it reduces in value, it depreciates every single year, it becomes $0, right? That you have to return it and trade it in for another one or something. It starts to take money from you. So what else again? There are utilities. Tell me what utilities of your electricity, what does it generate for you? It generates the convenience. There's the light, right? To give you illumination, right? There's the HVAC, right? Your AC is on, all of that. It's cooling, right? That's what it gives you. The comfort, the convenience, but it doesn't grow your money. It doesn't give you anything more than that. While that is important, right? You need to put a cap to it. You cannot afford to take all this your income and put it towards bills and lifestyle. All right? So that's number one. So your income, and if you say that, oh, you know what, my bills are already high, my lifestyle is already this thing, then you have to figure out how to reduce your increase your income. Because you see this, always think about this. Hey, latest millionaire in town, welcome in. If you are new here, click on that follow button. You're new here, click on the follow button. So look at it here. This gap that you see right here, you see this is the income. This is your expense. Income here, expense here. You see, expense is also the bills and the lifestyle that you see on the side. This is the income that I talked about here. Income, lifestyle or bills. You see this difference that's here. That's what is on this side. 40 to 50, like I was in my own case, 40 to 60, right? This gap that you now have right here, that gap is what is going to build you wealth. That is your wealth tool, right? This is your wealth tool. The more or the wider this is, the better or the quicker you are getting to become financially free. If you're new here, welcome in everyone. We're talking about the 4 pillars of wealth creation or wealth building, the race journey to financial freedom, right? So income here. So make sure you click on the follow button. If you're new here, you'll be sitting here for 2 minutes, click on that follow button. If you'll be seated here for 2 minutes, click on the follow button. King, latest millionaire in town. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's welcome you into the $1 Million League. I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm an economist as well, and I'm a serial investor with double-digit real estate portfolio. So welcome in everyone. Make sure you click on that follow button. Get your daily at me and share out the live, tap out the live. Get your pen and paper as well. Welcome in. So take some of the money and you put it in your wealth tool. The larger this wealth tool, remember I started with you increasing your income, and I gave you different ways for you to increase your income, right? Now, but as you're increasing your income, don't allow lifestyle to follow. A lot of times it's the lifestyle inflation. You get a new job, a salary increase, a promotion, your lifestyle follows. That's where the issue is. Let your income be high for a little bit. Guess what? Remember, it's a triangle. It's still coming back here. But instead of you going this direction, right? You are doing this route. It's called everybody put DG in the comment. DG. Drop DG in the comment. It's called DG, delayed gratification. Delay it Right here, there's no delay in gratification. This is instant gratification. Income, lifestyle bills, income, lifestyle bills. That's rat race. That's paycheck to paycheck, right? But if you delay the gratification, you're going to put that money in something you're well to in asset. Somebody drop DG in the comment. Remember, it's a two-way conversation. I know we are locked in. And let's keep tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Get your daily at me. If you have not gotten your daily at me, get your daily at me. Yeah, if you can give the gallery, that would be great as well. Let's tap out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's drop DG in the comment. I want to make sure that we have humans here, not BOTs, not the scammers, right? Make sure you drop DG, meaning DG like this, GG. There's a reason why I always say I want to make sure that we're still here. Drop DG. Somebody type DG in the comment. Thank you so much. Drop DG, right? Awesome. Thank you so much. Dropping DG. Only one person. Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. DG, delayed gratification, right? Make sure you click on that follow button if you're new here. So you take some of that money and you put it towards what is called cash flowing asset. It's called ACA, appreciating cash flowing asset. It means that an asset that cash flows and appreciates. Remember, this one is liability, taking money from you. But here, thank you so much. Here, it's putting money in your pocket. Appreciation, and it's what? When we hear appreciation, what does that sound to you? When you hear something is appreciating, right? When you say something is appreciating, what does that sound to you? How does that, what's the meaning of that? Drop it in the comment. Appreciate. When you hear something is appreciating, what does it mean? What does it mean? When you hear something appreciate, what does it mean? It's increasing. Thank you so much. More princess. Thank you. It's increasing. So it means that when we say appreciating cash flowing asset, right? It means that it's increasing in value. And at the same time, it's also growth, right? Thank you so much for sharing out the live. Increase. So it means that you're growing your money, right? It's this 40% of your income. Imagine it's growing. If you put it here, something that added or grow. Thank you so much. Yeah, grow. That's a word. Then number two, I said appreciating cash flowing assets, right? The second thing is that it cash flows. So it means that it gives you something called, the cash is also flowing, meaning that it can be growing, right? The value is growing, but it can also be giving you income. Cash is still flowing to your pocket every single month. So think about rental income, right? Assets like when you put your money in real estate, what's going to happen? Somebody called Mr. Tenant is going to be paying you every single month. That's what that means. Every single month is when it pays you. That's the same thing. That is cash flow. It can also be something in form of dividends. That is something for you. Through you're getting dividend income, meaning you invest in the stock market, and because you own a certain number of stocks, because of the ownership of that company, you partake in profit sharing. But guess what? How are you able to get that real estate in the first place? How? Who guesses? How are you able to afford the real estate? How are you able to afford the real estate? How are you able to afford the asset that we are talking about in the stock market? How are you able to afford it? Who can guess? How do you think you can afford it? Thank you all for tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Yeah, how are you able to afford it in the first place? Anybody? And let's share out the live. If you're new here, click on that follow button. How do you think you can afford that real estate in the first place, or whatever asset that we are talking about that increases in value, grows, and of course, cash flow? How do you think, right? It's right here on the board. How do you think you can afford it in the first place? Yeah, let's be in the habit of responding, guys. Yeah, it makes a class more fun. How do you think? Remember, I'm a professor, so it might be different from the regular life that you know. Right. So, how do you think? Anybody? You want me to call names? Okay, let me name the names. Like 022, just me and you, gratitude, JV, Dr. Bay, Mike, right? Moy Princess, Wahabo, Asixo Effect. How do you think you're able to afford these assets in the first place? It comes from what? It comes from, let me help you here. It comes from what you set aside. Because if all that you do with your income is to fund the bills and lifestyle, and you have nothing left, there's nothing to fund this side. Because this side is the one that is increasing, is the one that is giving you cash flow, is the one that is putting money in your pocket. So it gets to a certain time that this is going to increase and it's going to cash flow to the point that it's going to increase this, it's going to replace this income. It continues to pile up, pile up, pile up, pile up, and it gets to a point when it matches this thing. Because let's assume that you're earning 10,000 here, and these start producing you 10,000. Then guess what? You have just become financially free. The first step is these generate so much to the point that it takes care of this. That is number one level, first level of financial freedom. It means that your money is working so hard to the point that it's able to fund your bills and your lifestyle. Remember, it's a triangle. Maxine, latest millionaire in town. It gets to a certain time, and this is where people miss it. They eat just think about it as a chicken. A chicken, you buy a chicken. This chicken is a layers, so it lays eggs, right? It lays eggs. Think about it. If you have that chicken, right, which is this asset will start laying eggs for you every single month. It gets to a certain point, these eggs are so much, right? So much that you are now okay. It might even replace your income. Or think about it, it can even replace the chicken. Because the chicken might be the income and it lays eggs for you. So think about it as a seed that you put in the ground. Some of this income funds lifestyle. Some of it, you take it as a seed. Instead of you eating the fruit, which is coming from here, you take that fruit and you put it in the ground as a seed. When it becomes a seed, guess what? It's going to do what? It's going to germinate. And it's going to become a tree or whatever, a plant. And of course, it's going to give you multiple fruits. Think about like a corn on a cob. You take one little one of it, you put it in the ground, it germinates. Welcome in everyone. Make sure you click on the follow button if you're new here. It germinates, right? It germinates. That's what happens. And guess what? You now have many corns on the cob, or maybe one or two. That's it. But a lot of time, people are just ready to take that seed and eat it as part of the lifestyle and bills. But if you can delay the gratification for a little bit, you'll realize that you're gaining financial freedom. And of course, Dookie, latest millionaire in town. I just gave you the secret. And you'll be wondering, how come I never knew this earlier? Because the earlier you start doing this, the quicker you get your race to financial freedom. The quicker you are closer to becoming wealthy. I mean, in my own case, every single year, we were either buying one at least consecutively for 5 years. Consecutively, we were buying at least one property. So there are times when we are buying two, we're buying three. I'm not saying you have to do real estate. However, real estate will be part of that journey if you want it to be quicker. Coming from somebody with double-digit real estate portfolio. So it just tells you. But you can decide to say, okay, you know what? I put it in businesses or in the stock market. But ultimately, whatever that is going to grow some of that money, fund lifestyle, put some of it in investing. All right? Any question? Any question? If you're new here, click on that follow button. You're new here, click on the follow button. Tap out the live. Let's tap out the live as well. So that is it. You see what I just told you? That is the mindset shift. This is where a lot of people miss it because they just spend so much money and their time on the lifestyle. They spend so much of their money and their time on lifestyle. All right. So having said that, let's talk about what are the now that we understood the income. Number one, increasing your income. Number two, it takes time to make money. It takes time to make money. What do you mean by that, Prophet Sonny Black? Ronnie's latest millionaire in town. It takes time to make money. Absolutely. If it's so easy to make money, trust me, we would all be millionaires. But one of the things I can tell you is if you delay the gratification, right? It's almost like you save for today, right? How do I put it? Think about it. If you are able to deny yourself a little bit today, are you able to allow the time and compounding to do the heavy lifting for you, you would realize that you will gain financial freedom. It's not, trust me, it is the fact that it takes time to make money. That's why time in the market is very, very crucial. But the earlier you start, I'm glad you talked about time. The earlier you start in that journey, in that race to financial freedom, to building wealth, the earlier you started, the quicker you get to your final destination. But every single time that you're like, oh, you know what, I keep waiting, you realize that you are going to get stuck for every single time that you're waiting and complaining. Welcome in, everyone. Let's keep tapping out the live. Click on the follow button if you're new here. So let's go. Another mistake that people make. So now that we have clarified that, another thing that people make, we're talking about the 4 pillars of wealth creation. The four wealth building pillars. The 4 wealth building pillars. If you're new here, click on that follow button. You are new here, make sure you click on the follow button. If you've waited here 2 minutes and you find this valuable, click on the follow button. So remember, the first step, like I said, get your daily at me as well. So let me put it here. The first step is get your increased income. 2 is build your wealth tool, meaning remember the wealth triangle that I just talked about. Build your wealth tool, right? The triangle that I just talked about, that's what that is. It means that your income minus your expense, or call it bills, lifestyle, will give you what? This, your wealth tool. Everyone has different goals, objective, and risk tolerance. Investing is not a one-size-fits-all. Absolutely, that's exactly that's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. All right. So if you're new here, click on that follow button. So this is the first thing first, right? If you're new here, click on that follow button. Wealth tool, and let's keep tapping out the live. Let's share out the live as well. We're talking about the 4 pillars of wealth building, of wealth creation. So that's number 2. Now let's go to number 3. This is as part of fixing your foundation. Think about 4 account system. Let's type it in. 4 account system. That's what we want to talk about. A lot of times, some people understand they've increased their income, right? This is the flow, guys. This is the gap between you having your income. I mean, the gap between income to building wealth, real wealth, and gaining financial freedom. That's it. 4 account system. If there's anything I want you to take, try the system and see if it works for you. Don't do it for 1 month. Don't do it for 2 months or 3 months or whatever, right? Remember, we have not even started talking about investing now. We're not even talking about, let's tap out the life. Can we get it to 15,000 taps? I really, really appreciate it. Let everybody get it. Let's tap out the life. Really appreciate that. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's share out the life. Twin, how are you? Connie, welcome in. Let's tap out the life. Let's share out the life. Welcome in, welcome in. I've not spent so much time and energy on, all of those, right? Because the only language the algorithm understands, if you just sit here and you don't do anything, no tapping off the live, no clicking the follow button, you're just sitting here, you're doing us a disservice, okay? It just shows the algorithm that you do not value this life. But when you click on the follow button, you tap out the live, you share out the live, you invite your friends over, it shows that you value here. And of course, let's remember to get our daily at me as well, all right? So you'll be sitting here 2 minutes, you think that it's something that's valuable, you want to get to that $1 million status, or yours is, I want to end the paycheck to paycheck cycle, right? Yeah, make sure you click on that follow button. Let's welcome you in. Yeah, welcome in everyone. So we're talking about the 4 pillars of wealth building, right? Call it wealth building or wealth creation or whatever, right? So fix your foundation. And what do I mean? As part of fixing your foundation, of course, increase your income is number one, is part of it, right? What is this 4 account system that you have? The 4 account system that you have, and this is really practical. A lot of time people will like, okay, I make so much money, but I'm still struggling with my money. I don't know. I mean, so I've had somebody will say, oh, where did my money go? For how are you? Right? Where did my money go? Right? I make this, and by day 3, my money is gone. Today is what? Today is on the 4th, right? Some people's money is already gone. And they're like, oh my God, where did my money go? I just made good money, right? I was just paid on the 31st, but today the money is gone. If you felt that way, it might not exactly be your income that is the problem, because especially if you have fixed your income, and of course you already understand this, it might just be that you do not have the right structure when it comes to your account. All right. So let's fix that. And I fix it with something called the 4 account system. What does this mean? You're going to see it, the 2 sides to whenever you have your account. There's the saving side, and there's something called the investment side. And when we get here, that's going to transition us to the next one. Beta Blends, latest millennial insight. Welcome in. Right? Savings account. And literally, that's what that is. Savings account, investment account. And whatever I'm teaching here, trust me, is applicable all over the world. So far there is a currency in your country, because the next question I'm going to hear is that, oh, is it in one country? I'm going to use the United States because I live in the United States. I work in the United States. So, but it is applicable in whatever country that you are in, right? So always think about it. So I would use United States as my example, okay? So one of the first account that you should have, ideally, and I guess everybody has this account, especially if you have an income. You all have this account. It could be a savings or a checking. Either of these two. And it's just basically called, AKA, your income account. That's the first account. This is where your paycheck goes in. We have every one of us have this account, right? Except you are not earning income. If you're earning income, Your ACH or whatever, your income goes into these account. Right, I'm less so concerned about this account, even though a lot of us, this is the only account that we have. Only account that we have. Ideally, you should have way more than that. And let's keep tapping and let's get it to 15,000 taps. Thank you all. Let's keep tapping out the live. If you're new here, click on the follow button. You're new, click on the follow button. If you are new, click on that follow button. Tap out the live, share out the live as well. Thank you so much. Let's remember to also get our daily at me. If you've not gotten your daily at me, let's do that. Let's fill up the gift gallery as well. That helps this community as well. Like I said, the language the algorithm understand is when you click on that follow button, you tap out the live, you share out the live, you get your daily at me, you give the gallery, whatever. I mean, that is the language the algorithm understand that shows that you value this. Like, hey, Simply Abby, welcome in. How are you? Monies, Mr. Nice, welcome in. Yeah, make sure you click on that follow button. You'll be sitting here for more than 2 minutes. All right. Cancelo, latest millionaire Intel, welcome in. Awesome. So when we talk about income, when we talk about your savings account, right? I mean, on the savings side, this is on the, okay, I made a mistake. This is the bank side. This is what I was trying. On the bank side, bank account. This is bank account. All right. So this is going to be on the banking side. Bank. And then there's the investment side. On the investment, never save your money. Yeah. So the first thing is your income account. Savings, and it could be savings or checking. This is the only time that it makes sense for you to have a bank account, okay? Because your paycheck, everything goes into this account. But guess what? This account should just be a distribution center. As a matter of fact, this account should become zero by day 4 or day 5. That was the only account I had for 7 years until I said, oh my goodness. For now, I'm glad. I am glad. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. That's the only account. Yeah. And please let me know how it's going, because this is supposed to give, as simple as this is supposed to give you clarity on your money. And you see a difference. That's a funny thing. A lot of times you think that, oh, it's in the big things. You'll be so surprised. It's in the little things, as little as this. Your income account, paycheck, that's what goes in here, period. But a lot of times, like for an hour, trust me, a lot of us, this is the only account that we have. Yeah, that's the only account that you have. Now, let's go to number 2. What's the next account? Like I said, this is just a distribution center, DC. Type DC in the comment, a distribution center. So it just distributes and feeds all the other accounts. That's what it does. It should become zero by day 4, by day 5. This account should be. Otherwise, if you have this money remain here, that's when the bank wins. You want to win the bank? Then keep this account to almost zero. $1, leave $2 for them, right? I hope you know that when you leave money in the bank, in your checking account or savings account, I hope you know that 90% of that money is not there. Only 10% that is there, that is for reserve. 90% is already loaned out, mortgage, right? They've using it for fund other people's business, and they're getting returns on your own money. Only have 10% as reserve in the bank. Your physical money is gone, and they're trading with it. How do you think the bank declares billions and millions of dollars every single year? Your money that you put in there, that they've, that you think that, oh, you know what, the money is okay. Well, guess what? They've used it to trade, to do businesses, and they're getting busy on credit cards and all those mortgages. That's what they're doing. So the smarter you are, is why are you not doing what they're doing with your money? Which is what we're teaching. Why are you not doing? Because you're saying, oh, I want my money protected. But guess what? The fact that you leave your money in the bank, I hope you know that you are guaranteed a loss. Dr. Lina, what do you mean by guaranteed a loss? You are guaranteed a loss to you're losing money to inflation. You are losing for that your dollars is being lost, and not dollars only. In every country, there's something called inflation. Your currency is just money, all right? That currency is just paper. It is the value that you get from that currency. That's what shows the value of that money. Otherwise, when countries change currency, right, they said return that one so that you can get a new one. And then when they do a cutoff date that we can't use this currency anymore, if you put it, you cannot use it to buy anything anymore. It becomes valueless. It's the value that is attached to a currency that is what makes that currency valuable. So inflation is the rate at which the value of that currency is being reduced. So for instance, in the United States, inflation is at 4.2% the last time that I checked. Maybe it's even gone higher. So it means that $100 technically is worth $95.80. That's what it means. Now think about it. You leave your money year in, year out. As a matter of fact, to put numbers to it, if you had left your money in the bank in 2019, let's say you put 50,000 in 2019, guess how much it is as of today? It is worth $39,000 adjusted to inflation. So understand that whenever you leave your money in the bank, you're losing it to inflation. And on top of that, you are also not growing it. The goal is for you to grow your money. You want to be financially free, you want to grow it, you want to have it, you must also have some form of cash flow. So the first account is a distribution center. Don't just only have this account. You need to have some more accounts. Now, what is the second account that you should have? This is, a lot of people miss the second account, but it's one of the most important accounts that you should have. And it's called your emergency fund account. And where do you put this money? It is called in an high yield savings account. What's the difference between inflation and deflation? Go on Google and check. It's the direct opposite of each of them. All right. Emergency, right? Emergency fund, right? What is your emergency fund? Your emergency fund is basically your living expenses, your basic living expenses. Everybody put BLS in the comment. BLS in the comment. If you have not gotten your daily admin, get your daily. Oh, and somebody just did. Kev Piano. Thank you so much. Make sure you click on the follow button. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's tap out the line. Let's get it to BLS. Thank you so much. BLS is just your basic living expenses. Basic living expenses. BLS. Yeah, hi. Welcome in. If you are new here, make sure you click on that follow button. You'll be sitting there for more than 2 minutes. Let's also share out the live. Let's tap out the live. And let's tap it out to 20,000. BLS. Exactly. Basic living expenses. Thank you so much for getting your daily admin. Basic living expenses. What is your basic living expenses? It's 4 things. To make it simple, your basic living expenses is your transport, is your from the biggest to the number one. You need food to be alive, right? So that groceries, right? That's number one. Number two, you need roof over your head. So your housing, so mortgage or your rent, right? And if you already your house is paid off, all you are doing is your property taxes or whatever, right? That's number two. Number three is something called utilities. If you're in Texas like me, where it can go crazy and we go all the way to 110 Fahrenheit, right? And it gets so hot that you cannot even sit outside. You can even fry your egg, right? Leaving it in the sun, right? 12 noon or even 10 a.m. Then you will know that you need to have your cooling system working. Okay. Yeah, you need to have your cooling system working. So, and you need to have electricity on. So that's number 3. Number 4 is transportation, right? It simply means, why is this very important? These are not lifestyle. This is basic needs. Okay. God's word. Thank you so much for getting your daily and welcome in. If you are new here, make sure you click on the follow button. Also get your daily at me. If you haven't gotten your daily at me, click on the follow button. If you're new here, let's welcome you in. So those 4 things are your, so think about it. Either there is an income or no income. Your landlord, you still have to pay your landlord, or you're still going to pay mortgage. Income or no income, the kids are still going to eat. SAG, latest millennial in town, welcome in. Food, income or no income, the kids are still going to eat. They're still going to wear diapers if they still need to wear diapers, right? 3, of course, utilities. You still have to have, like I said, I already explained that. And number 4 is what is called your transportation. You have to move from one place to the other. It can be bus pass, it can be car note, it can be whatever it is. You just need to take that, right? Because even if there's no income, you want to look for another form of job, right? And because you want to look for another form of job, you need to look for what is that. Transportation is also going to be very key. So those are your basic 4 living expenses. Now, shoes are not included. That shirt, you will not be thinking of shopping or doing any clothes change if there is an income loss, right? Nobody is going to be thinking about that. You're going to be focused on your basic living expenses, right? Which is those 4 things. Now, how do you calculate your emergency fund? Let's assume that you have all these four things that we talk about. Let's say it's $2,000, right? Multiplied by, first of all, multiplied by 3 months. If you can try to get it to 6 months. So it means that 12,000 at 6 months. So 2,000 times 6, that's 12,000. Or 3 months, right? Which is $6,000, right? No. 6,000, 2,000 times 3. Yeah, that's 6,000. Why is this very important? You need to also know why. And the next question is, Dr. Lina, when do I do 3 months? When do I do 6 months? You know your living situation and you know the kind of job that you do, right? So for the people that are even self-employed, I would say 6 to 12 months, right? Maybe your money comes, you get government contract, your money is seasonal, right? In that situation, you want to have something that is solid. So whatever puts you at sleep, right? Because some people, they're the weakest link on their job. They're in a particular career that they know that, okay, you cannot get job immediately. You know, all of those things are the things that you take into account before you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to either do 3 months or 5 months or 4 months, but at the minimum, do 3 months, right? I don't have emergency fund at all. Dr. Lina, I'm just hearing you. Like Fund Awi just said, oh, she just started it, right? You start with what? Start with 1,000 immediately. So from your next paycheck, load $1,000. Let it be seated there, right? And then grow it to 1 month. After 1 month, then you take it like the next step, 3 months all the way. So that's how that works. Now that we have talked, any question in emergency fund, if you have question, drop it in. Now that we talked about emergency fund, now let's talk about your savings account. Where do you put this emergency fund? You don't put it in a checking account. Okay, great. You don't put it in a checking account. You put it in, you don't put it in a savings account. And by the way, this is a separate account. This is a separate account. Guy Devon, how are you? Right? This is a separate account. This is a separate account. You put it in an account called high yield savings account. Right? Type HYSA. If you don't know what HYSA is, drop it in the comment. Thank you so much for getting your daily at me. If you are new here, click on the follow button. If you don't know what HYSA is, drop it in the comment. HYSA. I'm fine, but that's great. That's great. So good to see you. Wealth GC, welcome in. GS. HYSA. You don't know what that is. HYSA simply means you don't know. Okay. It's a kind of account, not different from this account. So understand that. Not different from this account, but it gives you a better interest rate. This account will give you 0.01. If you're in the United States, we get 0.01 from Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo. So you can check this in your own country as well. But this account will give you 3 to 5%. 3 to 5% is what it gives you, right? And then that's what it's, but guess what? They are the same account. So whatever risk that this has, that's the same risk this account has. The only difference is, let me see what, for now, with 2 days after meeting you, I started with $200. Then now is that 1,300. Then automatic save. Wow. Good job. That's it. Good job. Then automatic save 300 monthly. But just know that for now, we want to get to 3 months or 6 months, depending on your job situation. Okay. Make sure that pause it. Don't make the mistake. Well, GS, Mike, latest millionaire, you can welcome. Right. Just cap it at that point. Once you get to that, you know it between 3 to 6 months. A lot of, yeah. So make sure you keep track of it. Make sure you need to know the numbers, right? Don't just keep putting it. Know your numbers, and once you get to that number, no more. Just cap it at that point. Okay. All right. Because I see that people, otherwise you just end up with loading more money in an higher savings account, and you're losing more money for the extras that you put in there. Okay? All right. But I'm so proud of you. Well done. Yeah, those are the results. That's what it's called execution. That's what it's called execution. Like I said, is one person just literally cost $500,000, right? About 3 weeks ago within this community as well. And it's in some things. The income did not change. Did not. It's just taking all this principle and executing it. Now, IO savings account for what's my friend that said Uche and Wabo, right? Just Google best IU savings account, right? If you're in the United States, I can give you a couple, but I always teach you to fish. I don't give you fish, right? So best IU, just go on Google and put best HYSA. And now we're in August. This is the reason why I teach you to fish, right? Just put August and you put best IU savings in, let's say I'm in Canada. For those in Canada, now in August, because the one that is best in July might be different. God bless you for this knowledge and changing the world. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means a lot. That's what we're doing. And I'm looking forward to meet you on Thursday as well. For the group call, right? For the group call, I'm so looking forward to meeting each and every one of us. So in Canada, right? I just said best IU. Can you see what I Googled? Best IU savings account in Canada in August 2026. Can you see that? That's what I Googled. And of course, it gave me different banks. So if you're in UAE, you are, last month we had 68 countries represented, right? Yeah, 68 countries represented in this community, right? And as a matter of fact, so this is that's why I teach the way I teach, instead of giving you numbers. In the United States, you have something like SoFi, right? SoFi will give you about 4% and even give you $400, right? For you opening the account. Like Capital One will give you about $250. But look at this is in Canada. So we have saving financial interest savings account, 2.8, right? Scotia's Bank is, a simply financial high interest savings account, 4.60 for the first 5 months. So you would see it right there, right? In the United States, if I do the same thing for the United States, I'm not sure why it's taking it forever to load. But just Google it and you would see the best of it right there. Okay, so look at the United States. So if you can see, there's E-Trade, iSmart Shopping, welcome in. Yeah, welcome in. Yeah, make sure you click on that follow button. If you're new here, click on the follow button so you can see like the first one. So you can see E-Trade, 4% for the first 6 months. There's CIT, there's SoFi at up to 3.8, but you also get $400 to open the account. E-Trade is now doing $400 as well. So these are free money for you, by the way, right? But just look at the requirement to qualify. So Capital One is doing 3%, and they're not giving you anything to open the account. So you would see Wealthfront is giving you 4.3%, right? Make sure the only thing is that make sure that it is FDIC insured. Like the Wealthfront is giving, and it has a good review, right? So look at it. Those are I receive my monthly interest rate from SoFi. So Uche, how much are you going to share with me, right? How much are we going to share, right? Since we are in partnership. I'm just kidding. Thank you for sharing that with me. So every single month on the first of the month, that's why it's a regular bank account, guys. It's a regular bank account. Every single month, you're going to get your interest every single month. I opened your SoFi. See, you guys are just making me happy, right? You see, this is the result of the 31 days money result, right? This is the 31 days that we did financial freedom drive that we did last month. You see the result? That's what is coming in, and there are going to be more results, okay? That's what makes me happy, right? When people are doing the smart shopping, latest millionaires are welcoming. Right? These are free money that have always been there. And also, let me know when you get your free $400 as well for those that had opened their account with SoFi, right? When you get your free $400, don't just spend that money, guys. One thing that I want you to do now, take that money and start putting it towards investing. I started eliminate my credit card debt. I'm so proud of you guys. This is it. You guys are following and executing. I'm I'm looking forward to see the result I'm going to be getting in this $1 Million League, right? This community in the next 1 year. Because like I said, the person that joined, this person has been following me since January. I joined this app in December, started with the media money reset, right? New year 2026 money reset, joined in December, and the result was very overwhelming. So this person joined towards the end of, right now she's over $500,000. $500,000, the same income, nothing has changed. The only thing is that she decided to structure it right, started investing, doing everything she has to do. But by the way, this is not get rich, it's in these little things, right? And for everybody that got the free $400 from SoFi or from whichever account you open, you know that money you're not spending it, you know you're investing it, right? It's going on this side, right? It's going here. Guys, you remember? And all those monthly extra whatever is going towards debt payoff, or it's going towards this side. All right? Okay? That's it. So that's your next homework now that you know how that works. All right, Uche, Simply Abby, and everyone, Fun Awi. With about $2,000, I add $14 on savings account and $1 from 100 on a current account. Well done, well done. The $14, you can easily take that $14 every month and automate it to be depositing to this side every single month. $14 every single month, right? You can add some money. You will open your SoFi tomorrow. Well done. So, guys, note that all that you put inside your emergency fund is in your IU savings account is your emergency fund, period. This is not for your investing. Now, you're wondering, Dr. Lina, why don't you have this emergency fund? Why in an IU savings account? Because it has to be liquid, which is best for United States. I just gave you, GS. I just gave you, SoFi is good. So far, that's why a lot of people, because these people, if you open, I'm not affiliated with anyone. So just Google best high yield savings account. You see what I Googled. Best high yield savings account in your own in the United States in August 2026. And I just picked one. So you see E-Trade is there, right? 4%. Just make sure it is FDIC insured. CIT. So far is this one 3.8, but then you also get 0.7 whatever. And of course, you also get $400 in return, right? That's it. So that's the one everyone was talking about so far. Capital One is if you like mortal and brick, you want to walk into the store. You are one of those people that want to get into the bank, right? Because so far is Romane, latest millionaire in town. I open with SoFi and they are great, yeah, but it's not a. I understand that SoFi is an online bank. It doesn't have a physical bank, okay? So understand that it doesn't have a physical bank. So if you are one person that you just like I don't know, for whatsoever reason, you just need to enter the bank, understand that, right? So you can do a Capital One because Capital One has branches all over, so you can walk in there. So far it's good. Capital One is good, but it's all a function of your need. Make sure whatever you're picking is FDIC insured. In Canada, make sure it's SDIC insured. In the UK, know that it is FCSC or whatever it's insured, meaning that your money up to $250,000 is protected in a case where the bank decides to go down. So your money is protected, is backed by the government. That's what that means. So make sure it is FDIC insured, okay? And what money do you put there? Your emergency fund. Why is it important we put it in an IE savings account and not in an investment account? The reason why is because you want to, it has to be liquid. Emergency doesn't tell you. It doesn't come knocking. I hope you remember when emergency happens, it doesn't come knocking. It just comes straight and it just walks in freely. There's a job loss, maybe it's health, whatever, or maybe it's a major car repair or something, major damage to whatever you are ready. Why is this important? You are most welcome. You're most welcome. Why is this important? If you're new here, welcome in. Click on the follow button. I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I have my doctorate degree in strategy, business, and information management system. I'm a vice president of technology, also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and information management system. And you're wondering, how come she's teaching finance? That's because I'm also an economist and a chartered accountant. I own a invested portfolio and I've been investing for close to 2 decades, helping as many people to gain financial freedom, because money is not the goal. Money is just a tool, right? Money is just a way to get in there. But guess what? The goal is financial freedom. Living life at your own term, ability to live life at your own term. Working because you want to work, not because you have to work to pay bills. Two different things. The minute when you're able to do that and say, okay, I'm just working because I love to do what I do, that's where you want to be. It means that you're financially free, okay? Right. So make sure you click on the follow button so that we can welcome you right here. And we're talking about the 4 pillars of wealth creation. Now we're on the 4. It starts with your income, and of course, building your wealth to income minus your expense, and then the next, fixing your foundation, your 4 account system. So your checking account should not be your only account. Your income account should not. Don't. It's just like piercing of the veil when it comes to LLC and all of those kind of things. When you say, oh, the veil is pierced, that's why they can sue you. You don't separate all your assets from, you don't separate your business from your personal life, right? It means that the veil is pierced, right? So that's just that is. You don't want to pierce, you don't want to pierce your veil. When it comes to your account, you need to split it into individual accounts, and that's going to give you clarity on your money, okay? So make sure you click on that follow button if you have not done so. You'll be sitting there for 2 minutes. It looks like what you're looking for, gaining financial freedom, investing, all of those things. Make sure you click on the follow button. Let's welcome you into the community. Awesome. Emergency fund, high yield savings account, it has to be liquid, all right? 3 to 5 months of living expenses. It has to be liquid because every dollar needs to work. Every money must work. Okay? That's what this means. So that's the only reason why we left it in this account. All right? So you cannot say that, oh, my emergency fund is the investment account. Oh, my emergency fund is in my 401k or my pension account. Don't even dare. Don't even dare. Welcome in, Kobe, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Right? Right. Your investment account cannot house your emergency fund. All right? Because the reason why you cannot house your emergency fund, because if the stock market went down like it went down last week, right? But guess what? It is at all-time high again, almost $700. Like a VO is almost even on past $700 because I checked it at $695. But if you maybe there was an emergency last week when it was at 665 or 650 or something, you would have lost money selling it to an emergency. But guess what, where it is as of today? That's why you need to split it. It has to be in an IA savings account. All right. If you have any other question on that, let me know. So number 3 is the third account that you need to have is something called your bills account. Your bills account. This is different. A lot of questions I get every time. Dr. Lina, can I use this account for my bills? They're 2 different accounts. And when we're talking about the way you are opening SoFi, right? As somebody was asking about, that's the way you open this account. You open this account as well. That's different, right? You separate it. This income comes in, then it funds this account. Like Fund Our is saying, okay, I do $300 ongoing. So she's automated it every single month. It funds her emergency fund. Once she gets to the cap of her emergency fund, she pauses. That's it. It ends there, right? So then she puts it, hey, Zadie, how are you doing? Welcome in, everyone, right? Let's keep tapping out the live. Get your daily admin, share out the live. And of course, if you're new here, click on that follow button. If you're sitting here 2 minutes, click on the follow button. If you have been sitting here, you're doing us a disservice just sitting here, not tapping out the live, getting all the information. You're loving it. You're asking all the questions. You're getting it. You think it's valuable. You're doing us a disservice because the only language the algorithm understands is when you click on that follow button, you tap out the live, you share out the live, you invite your friends over, you get your daily admin, you get. That's when the algorithm understands that, oh, you know what, this is valuable to this person, right? So please, make sure you click on the follow button, tap out the live, share out the live, invite your friends over as well. So the bills account is the third account that you need to have. What is this account, right? What is the bills account? The bills account is your regular bills, right? So remember what I talked about, your basic living expenses and some of the lifestyle comes here, right? Some of the lifestyle comes here as well. Basic living expenses plus lifestyle. Remember, here is just basic living expenses. But if there's in an emergency, you're not even thinking of lifestyle. A little bit of lifestyle comes to play here as well. So, maybe you're going vacation, all of those kind of, right? Whatever makes you that, okay, this is my life. Eating out a little bit, maybe once a month tradition, whatever. Basic living, like plus the lifestyle. That's what that is, right? And why should you separate this account from this account of phone? It's because most of the time your bills, a lot of times people often, and I know that somebody had asked this question before, people would often not pay. There are times I've seen some situations where I am charged property tax twice. And if not because I'd already put the numbers and I can see it, there's no way I would know that I've paid this before. So there are times when they will charge you twice, or do you see that your bills changes? But if you already see that my bills is $3,000 a month, if it goes back by $5, you would understand, you will see, because your account will go to negative. It's almost like executing your budget without having to review paper every single month. This is going to automatically execute whatever budget because you will know, okay, my bill is 3,000. If it increases by $5 or even $1, it's going to send your account to negative, and you're like, okay, what happened here? You'll be able to investigate. That's what this one is for, right? Okay, so that's a fund account. Any questions on the bills account? This one, I really don't care if it's checking account or savings account. It really doesn't bother me. Because at the end of the whole thing, it's paying bills, so it's almost going to get zero to zero. The only other thing is that you may add a credit card to it. This is if you're already responsible enough with your credit card. The reason why I always talk about credit card, or I put credit card in the mix, is three things. With the least is, number one, you get rewards, which is free money, just like you're getting return for, they are beating the bank to the game. But the only thing is that it defeats the purpose if you're not paying your card within the billing cycle. It defeats the purpose. So you need to make sure that you're paying the bills within the billing cycle. Number two, which is very, very important, is in a case when there is a fraud, right? If you use a credit card, like today, one of my cards, which was Capital One, they just used they were trying to shop on it, right? They were trying to pay for something on Amazon, $150, right? And Capital One captured it, and the person was in Seattle. Yeah, that's where it was, right? And they captured it, and because they captured it, they asked me, oh, is this fraud or whatever? I was able to tell them fraud. They're shipping me another card. Imagine if that transaction had gone through. First, I might not know. Number two is that even though I know, right, and it's on my debit card, what's going to happen? It's going to take them some time to investigate. But because it's their own card, they have extra layer of security, right? And let's say it goes through on my debit card, it messes up my finances because I am running a zero budget. I'm running a zero budget budgeting account in my own house. In the job, in the office, we're frosted by it. How are you? Right? I'm running a zero budget, just like on your own job as well. They say they have zero budgets, right? Zero budget accounting, right? The same thing. I run it the same thing at my own home as well. Zero budget. Just imagine if there was not major fraud on my card or my debit card. What's going to happen? It's going to throw my budget, my account off. Let's keep tapping out the live. Really, really appreciate everyone to admin. I know I've not been pushing. We've not been talking about that. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for getting your daily admin. If you are new here, make sure you click the follow button. You're new, you'll be sitting here for 2 minutes. Let's give you 1 second. Let's give you 30 seconds. Let's give everyone 30 seconds. Thank you so much for the gift, right? Let's give you 10 seconds to, if you're new here, click on that follow button. You don't know how to click, there's a plus sign. Click on the follow button. Let's welcome you in to the $1 Million League. So good to have each and every one of you. Click on that plus sign if you have not done so. The chef in the kitchen, latest millionaire in town. Welcome in. Nina Sky, latest millionaire in town. Awesome. Any other millionaire still sitting on the window? You're still out there, sitting through the window, peeping. You're peeping like, you know what? What's happening here? What's happening here? I love it, but I'm still sitting. Come on to the front door, right? Come on to the front door. Let's welcome you in. This is the $1 Million League. Those anticipating to become a millionaire and those that are already millionaire. Thank you so much for the daily admin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Go Populars as well. Really, really appreciate everyone doing that, right? If you're still there and you've not, Pike 212, hello, how are you doing? So good to have welcome in. Yeah, let's get if you're new here, all of the new, drop one and click on that follow button. I'm new here, drop one, and let's remember to get our daily admin. Yeah, thank you so much for getting your daily admin. Awesome. If you're new here, click on that follow button. Let's welcome you in. So your credit card. So the first thing I said was what? Right? The first thing is the rewards, which is, right? Number two is for fraud, right? For fraud, you are protected against fraud, almost like you're protected. You want to make sure you protect yourself. But most importantly is number three, right? which translates to this investment, right? Number 3 is we need that credit score, right? We need, oh, thank you so much for the donut, right? We need that credit score. It's very, very important, right? Why? Because trust me, in your building wealth, remember, I showed you something earlier, right? We said you're going to take some of your income. This wealth too, where does it go to? Your wealth too goes here. It partly goes here. Some of it goes here. It goes, your wealth tool doesn't go here. You see the first side, in the side of the triangle, the DLL, these are all the DLLs. Depreciating lifestyle liability, those bills on the other triangle, right? That doesn't grow. This is that side. This is that side. This is the side of wealth building. The larger this is, right, the quicker you get to financial freedom. So if you want to be financially free, you want to get to that $1 million status, this is where your focus is. This is important for you today, for your life, running your life. This is think about it. This is operating expenses. This is operating expenses. This is investment. This is asset, right? Look at it in, if you want to look at it from accounting standpoint, maybe this is income statement, this is balance sheet, okay? Right? This is balance sheet. This is income statement, this every month. Number 4. Is that number 4? Exactly, that's number 4. Right? So number 3, you want to have your credit. You want to have what? You want to build your credit. How do you build your credit? Right? Hello, latest millionaire income. How do you build your credit? How do you build your credit? It means that you're paying, when you have this credit card, especially, when you have this credit card, you are paying it off regularly. You are building your credibility with the lenders, right? You're building credibility with the lenders. You're building a relationship with the lenders. All of those kind of things. That is how you build your credit. Pay off debt, exactly, right? Right? So it means that credit card, when you have your credit, your credit card, that's why you need the credit card. Remember, I'm saying 3 things. Number 1 is the rewards that you get. Number 2, it's for fraud, right? Protection against fraud. Number 3 is building credit, right? The higher that credit is, the lower your interest rate, right? Somebody that has a 750 or 800 credit is going to have a better interest rate when it comes to whenever you want to take a mortgage, you want to take a loan or whatever. So that's why it is very, very key. Yeah, pay off that credit. So every single month you are using it, and it's like it's a cycle. So you use it, you pay it off before the billing cycle. Never let it go past the billing cycle. When it goes past this billing cycle, that is when you pay interest. Then you make sure that utilization is also low. Don't overuse it, right? Utilization, keep it at 10%, max 20%. But if you can keep it at 10%, you will see your credit grow. So if you're struggling with your credit that is low, follow this principle. Keep your limit at this 10%. Number 2 is that always pay it off within the billing cycle, right? So those 2 will help you. Then, of course, there are some other things like the years of ownership and all of those things. Those are the things that also go into it. But the one within your control, those 2 are within your control. All right? Hey, Mama Minor. How are you? Right? So those are within your control. So that's the other thing you want to do. And these are the 3 accounts on the banking side. 3 accounts on the banking side. Now, let's now go to number 4. This is where it is called your wealth account. Wealth account. This is where it goes. This is wealth account. Because this is the one that's going to grow money. If this one is not growing anything, it ends here. This is the one that builds you wealth. I want to build financial freedom on this side. I want to build wealth on this side. Now, whenever I told you, remember, I said your income does not equal wealth, right? This is, let's say, maybe you can say, your income does not, you can see the steps. You're fixing your foundation. These are the things that are missing, though you are making decent income. Yeah? You are making decent income. That's what is missing, right? Because most of your income, you are putting it towards here instead of here. When you put more here, then you would, your wealth tool, you put it here in the wealth account. So what are these wealth account? I'm going to use this as the United States, okay? But I'm also going to try to, because it's applicable to any country. Joy, latest millionaire, and John, welcome in. Because I live and I work in the United States, okay? So, pardon me, but you can use it for your own country. We have 68 countries represented here. Yeah. All right. So, what is the first account that you should have? It's called, and I'll use it generically, then I'll split it. It's called the retirement account. This is for your future. Investment helps to build wealth. Exactly. This is for your future. This is for your future. So remember I started with a story. Please, must I have credit card in order to build my credit score? Ideally. Unfortunately, in the United States, or maybe you get a form of personal loan, but the easiest way is that credit. Yeah, unfortunately. But you can do, I mean, except you follow, like Dave Ramsey would say, oh, don't have, yeah, Dave Ramsey would say, don't have credit or whatever, then you have to pay cash. But if you want to invest in real estate and you want to go faster, especially with the strategy that we teach here, you have to have that credit to be able to get those good interest rate. Does that answer your question? Does that answer your question? Hello? Yeah, if you're new here, make sure you click on the follow button. So you're going to, you split it into one, your future, and two will be your present. That's what it's going to be splitted into. Now, and these are literal accounts, guys. So yeah. This is for your future. Remember, I was talking about the story of the man, the one that retired at 60, and he hasn't still gotten, all he has gotten since November was $400. How do I know how much credit I have built if I have a credit card? Okay. So go download something called Credit Karma. Let me show you. Download retirement, present, right? Future, retirement, present. That's what I wrote there. Okay. If you are new here, click on that follow button. If you're new here, click on the follow button. Let's tap out the live as well. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. Perfect. And let's tap out the live. Can we get it to 30,000? I know I've not been pushing on that. Let's get it to 30,000. And you'll be sitting here, you'll be waiting 2 minutes, you've been here 2 minutes. Click on the follow button. We'll soon be wrapping up with the live. Yeah, thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's get it to 30,000. We'll soon be wrapping up with the live. All right. So wealth account you have to have for your future and for your present. So whenever we're talking about this wealth tool, know that it's geared towards two things: your future self and your present. Your future and your present. So it's not geared towards, oh, just your future alone, because a lot of people make that mistake. That, oh, it's just towards your future only. No. Your present, is it advisable to have 3 credit cards? Why do you want to have 3 credit cards? What's it for? To what end? Right? If there's a particular reason why you want to have it, let me know. Just state it there. Retirement account, right? And of course, I mean, your future self and your present. Investment doesn't necessarily mean that you can also get you. Okay. How can I my income and credit card?